question we're going to address this first week is, how come every few years you move priests from one parish to another? That's a good question, and it's one that I hear often. The Catholic Church's canon law has something to say about this. Canon 522 says that priests are to enjoy stability in their lives so that they don't have to wonder each year, is the bishop going to move me somewhere else again this year? With this in mind, canon law allows for the indefinite appointment of pastors. I've known some pastors who were almost their whole life, 30 or 40 years in one parish. But the law also says that bishops' conferences can allow for limited assignments. In Canada, this has been established as 6 years, and this term is renewable. Now let's face it, when we get a priest that we really like, we never want to see him leave. As the priest himself may settle nicely into a parish where he gets to know all the people and finds this suits him well. I know that in the Indigenous communities, the transfer of priests is irksome. I've been told, we only just get to know and like our priest and you take him away. At the same time, there are circumstances that the bishop may be aware of that recommend a change, and there's a whole range of these. A particular priest may have the skills and abilities that the bishop needs elsewhere for the overall good of the diocese. The priest himself may ask for a change, and in some cases he may not want the parishioners to know that he has asked for a change. The priest may begin to suffer from ailments or other limitations that suggest he live elsewhere. In a diocese like ours, where so many of our priests are from elsewhere, it may be the priest's own bishop or superior who needs to give his priest another assignment elsewhere. Bear in mind that when one priest is reassigned, this often causes a chain reaction that affects many more priests. We see this as well when the Holy See needs to assign bishops in the country. When Bishop Denis Croteau in Yellowknife retired, Bishop Murray Chatelain became their bishop. Then he was assigned to Kuwait-Napaw Archdiocese in Manitoba, and Father Mark Hageman became the bishop in Yellowknife. When Hageman became bishop of Saskatoon, Father Jon Hansen became bishop. What happens in the church in the assignment of priests happens in all organizations. It's the very nature of life that things change, and those who are called to serve us change as well. Now, my present policy in this archdiocese is to not mention the length of time for a priest's assignment as pastor, but when the occasion arises that it is necessary or wise to do so, I will. Sometimes the pastor will ask to be moved, other times he will ask not to. And as the bishop, I have to try and make a prudent decision for the good of every person and community concerned. Let me finish with a story about Father McGillis. After 6 years in the parish, Father got up at the end of Mass and told the people that the bishop had assigned him to a different parish. He was supposed to be there in a few weeks' time. He wanted to thank the parishioners for their kindness to him over the years. All the faces in the pews looked sad. As Father stood on the front steps after Mass, shaking hands, elderly Mrs. Murphy appeared looking very sad indeed. "Mrs. Murphy, what's wrong?" Father asked. "I'm so upset," she confessed. "I was just getting used to you and now the bishop is sending you away." "Don't worry, Mrs. Murphy," Father assured her. "I'm sure the bishop is going to send you an even better priest than me." "Yeah," she said. "That's what they said the last time." Now, in conclusion, I want to thank you for the many questions we have received so far. We're hoping to get to all of them one at a time, but the more questions we have, the more certain it is that we can continue this series, and it helps give me the necessary time to contemplate and prepare my answers. So please, if you have any question that you would like to ask me for this series, I ask you to comment on this video, send us a message on our Facebook, email our communications officer, Kyle Grenham. There's many different ways for you to do so. Until next time.